All right, we are live. Welcome to the Ohio Housing Forecast. This is Adam Ashba, president of Ashmont Realty and instructor at Hondros College. So we're going to talk about it's in October. We got October's numbers, and we're almost at Thanksgiving. So we're rounding third, heading home, and let's just see how the real estate market has turned out so far this year. You might be surprised, you might not be. Not a lot's happened, really, to be honest, but we're going to do something a little different today. We're going to go over some national numbers because Ohio gets a little boring lately. So we're going to talk about that and a lot more right after this count.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is Adam Ash, but we're going to be talking about the Ohio housing forecast. We don't have Dayton's numbers, and I always love going over Dayton, but they don't have their numbers in yet, but we got to keep moving on. Thanksgiving is almost here, and we're almost done with the year in 2024. We're going to see how we fared out. Not a lot's changed, really, month over month in Central Ohio. Let's go ahead and pull up the numbers now. But really, Central Ohio has been kind of more of the same, really. Closed sales is up 3% from last year. We're at 24,000 homes sold in Central Ohio. In contracts, 4%. I'm going to highlight these here for you. That's kind of what we were last month. Year to date, we're about 3% more than last year. Now, remember, guys, last year was a tough year. Last year was a tough year, not so much for our brokerage, but this year is a little bit worse than last year. But it's been tough. It's been tough in the real estate game. Central Ohio's been pretty decent. We've been fairly steady, but we're digging out of a hole, but not a lot. So, things are still down historically. The only thing that's not down is home prices. Home prices are still way up. And that's kind of the problem. So, guys, if you're a buyer, listen up, guys. If you're thinking about buying a house, things are moving towards your direction. We have more inventory. Now, home prices keep going up, but we have more inventory and more houses that are getting reduced from list price than we've had in years. So let's pull up and let's finish out Central Ohio here. So, days on market, we're 17% longer days on market, which means homes are sitting longer. If homes are sitting longer, you might get a better deal. And but last but not least is average home prices. Home prices in Central Ohio are at 5%. They've been hanging around 5-6% all year long. And, it really hasn't changed. So, I think the beginning of the year, Lawrence Yoon, the chief economist for NAR, kind of projected about a 6% increase nationally. And that's about where we're going to fall. Now, there's other areas. We talk about Dayton on this podcast all the time, and they're hanging around 9 to 10%. So there are areas in Ohio that's doing a lot better than Central Ohio, but really 5% increase in property values year over year is pretty good. 3% is normal. So you're doubling that number. So, but again, we got more inventory now than we've ever had for 6-7 years now. We have 2 months supply. They always say 6 months supply, but again, that's more inventory that we've had. I want to kind of do a spin a little bit on kind of the national scene. So the National Association of Realtors, we just had our annual convention, and we talked a little bit about national numbers, and I want to dive into that. Nationally, home sales are down big time. We're actually looking at like the least amount of homes sold on pace. And again, I don't think anything crazy is going to happen in the next 2 months. We have the election and things like that. But since the mid 90s, so let me share some stuff with you. Now this is a website. It's the Real Deal real estate website, but it says home sales could be heading for a 30-year low. 30-year low in home sales. We're on pace to sell like 3.8 million, I think, in home sales, which usually 4 million in home sales is pretty low. Yeah, I think we're adjusted to sell about 3.8 million homes. Again, 4 million homes a year is like kind of minimal. But again, we've been behind the 8 ball for years, new construction, and really because of the housing crash. We were way behind the 8 ball, and that really put us in a situation where we were playing catch up and inventory was really tight. Okay. So I want to share something else. So the NAR, we had the convention in Boston, and Lawrence, I like his stuff. He kind of makes it really simple for everybody. And I want to talk about that here in a sec. Let's see here. We're going to pull up his article that he talked about, but he has kind of high hopes for 2025. And to be honest, it can't get a lot. It's pretty low right now, guys. In all honesty, it's low. I think it can only get better, and I think he talks about that, how things. But he kind of forecasts a 9% increase in home sales for 2025. So right now in Central Ohio, we're looking about like 4%, 3 to 4% increase, which isn't that much. A 9% increase would be a little bit better, getting, back on track a little bit more. And then he's projecting 13%, more homes sold in 2026. So that's very optimistic. He talks about as well is, there's a lot of people sitting on a ton of equity in their homes right now, and they haven't, pulled the trigger to liquidate that equity to move somewhere else. Also, too, we've talked about interest rates. And at the beginning of the year, we talked about maybe rates getting in the 6s, and it did. It did get in the 6s, and it almost broke the high 5s on really good loans. You had to have great credit, good down payment and things, but it was feasible. So, is interest rates stabilize in that 6%, this year, and it comes more than norm? Because right now it's been like this. Right now it's about 7. It went 7.5 right after the election. So it's been bouncing around quite a bit, but maybe when that those rates get stable a little bit, we'll be moving more houses. But other than that, kind of business as usual in Central Ohio, pretty steady, digging out of ourselves a little hole from 2023, which was a rough year. But again, Central Ohio has not been affected compared to a lot of states. A lot of states have really got burned big time on excess supply, Florida, Texas even, and builders are giving great incentives. So, guys, if you're thinking about buying a house, Smart Realty, an instructor at Hondros College. And if you guys, listen up, if you guys want to get your real estate license, an early Christmas gift for me to you, go ahead, look below in the description below, right there on the banner, 30% off your tuition at Hondros College. It's a discount code from us to you. Get your year started off right in 2025. 30% off your Hondros College tuition. That's hundreds of dollars. So click it, check it out. You can have your license within about 2 or 3 months, guys, and you can be selling in the spring. So other than that, guys, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. We got a lot more stuff to cover, and we will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.